Hey Harold. I wasn't going to do a live today. I usually do them on Thursdays now, but the weather sucks balls, so I figured that I would just throw one up. I was going to do some playing with some carburetors, so. Hey TK. So I've been playing with some, I was doing some experimenting, and this is an OS VG carburetor, and this is a Axial 0.32 carburetor, and the Axial ones constantly leak through this mid-speed jet, and I wanted to try and see my TQ, my JQ Racing buggy, I'm sure is leaking through this mid-speed jet. So I wanted to try and do some playing around and see if this OS carburetor will work on the JQ Racing engine. Because if this works, then this is another viable option for people for the Axial engines, because the carburetors on these things can be kind of cranky. Hey Corey. So I have two options. I have this one, which I know needs the needle resealed on this Axial carburetor, and I have this OS one, which I'm sure was good the last time I ran that VG. So I'll grab the JQ. That's the JQ buggy. It's a great buggy, but I noticed the last time I ran it, when I primed it, it squirted fuel out the mid speed. It's the only thing I hate about this thing is why the body, how it's rooted through there. Such an awesome body though. Yeah, like that mid speed right there is, I'm sure it's leaking. Like I said, I didn't plan on doing a live stream today, but I just figured the weather here kind of sucks, and I was just out here tinkering around anyway, so I figured that I'd invite some people along, see how it goes. Yeah, the green, this is the 0.28 RR. Ooh, still stuck. I've had these things because they have a 2-part knock in them. You got to be careful because one side will let go and the other side won't. There it goes. There's the carburetor. Looks pretty much identical to that one, except this one had a different size Venturi in it. This still feels really weak, so I might have to reseal that yet. That needle feels like it could use a new O-ring in it, because it turns really easy. See if I got an O-ring for that before I cram this together. You know what they say, Harold, whatever's in your hand, you don't need to hit it very hard. Just a gentle tap. That O-ring feels pretty stiff. See if we got an O-ring for it. Yeah, that's the 28RR. Let's see what we get. See if I can get this O-ring off without breaking it, but I'm not optimistic. They get pretty hard sitting around. That, anybody that has a chance to grab an old VG, OS VG, the carburetors on them are gotta be the most universal carburetor for any buggy. And the VGs come up pretty common because they're the ABN engine, and the engines are fucked lots, so. But this OS carburetor will fit the AE engines, so all the MGT stuff. They'll fit the Hobeo ones. They'll fit all kinds of stuff. So they gotta say that they're I think they're the most universal upgrade replacement. Hey Travis. If I can get this off without stabbing myself, I'll be a happy camper. It's harder than shit. And I know for a fact that the MGT engines, you can't get a seal kit for them things to save your life. They're damn near impossible to find a O-ring kit for them. And they're a weird size. Oh, there, broke it. Oh well, it's off. I think the last time I ran this JQ buggy was on a live. Oop, tore that one. Hey John, thanks for coming, buddy. I know I don't normally do the Sundays anymore, but the weather kind of stinks, and I was out here doing some maintenance anyway, so I figured I'd invite some people along. Jesus. Trying to get an O-ring on a high-speed needle with big fat mechanic fingers. Jesus, that O-ring is not cooperating. I'll try the next size. That O-ring's gonna be too big now. That's not gonna work, that one's too fat. It's this size, I'm just not being gentle enough. Where's my? Yeah, sometimes I get a little heavy-handed. I think it's best to go over the top. I had more luck the last time. This video is gonna be, the whole video is gonna be you guys watching me try and get this fucking O-ring on. Oh man, broke that one too. Man. I don't normally have this much trouble with an O-ring. Did not cooperating today. Good thing I greased it, now I can't hang on to shit. Hey, Hugh. Hey, Riggs. Maybe this is the wrong size O-ring. It should not be this difficult to put this O-ring on. I'm going to try a different size O-ring. This O-ring can't be the right one. This is entirely too stiff to put on. is no good because that will cut when I go to put that in there. It fits the groove okay. It's a little too fat. Not that one. There we go. That one looks good. Well, that's the money. Oh, perfect. Nice resistance. Perfect. So that O-ring is a 006, which is it is a 2.8 ID 66 OD. Perfect. So those of you that have just come in, so what we're doing is we're trying to see this JQ, this axial engine. I'm going to put this OS VG carburetor on it and see how it works, because I know for a fact that this is the original carburetor for it, and it leaks out this mid-speed. So and I've had a few axials where you'll drive around and all of a sudden it'll lean right out, and you'll go and you pull it out and this friggin' mid-speed needle will have fallen right out. I found multiple of these VG engines. If anybody watched any of Joey's videos today, this is one of the carburetors that I gave him for his Hobeo. Man, I wish it would rain here, to be honest with you. I'm sick of the snow. Yeah, it's at that time of year where you're just sick of dealing with snow. Here. I had to shovel this morning, for Christ's sake. There. 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 Now, we gotta see if she'll run. My failed attempts at my O-rings. rid of the garbage. Now, where's my air filter? There it is. I'll probably have to open that idle gap up a smidge after. We'll see. I hope that works. It was kind of a fluke that I tried that this morning and it fit on nicely. Make sure that's seated all the way. Doesn't quite look down all the way. There we go. All right, let's grab the starter box and some fuel. See what it does. I think there's still a battery in this thing. We'll find out. Happen to have the radio sitting right there too. That's kind of convenient. No, I'm guessing the battery is not in there. Or it's dead as a doornail. Nope, no battery in there. That's not bad. This battery's weak-ish, so see if it, how it works. It's not the world's best battery. Usually this car is set up for lipos. But, hey SLC, what I miss you? Oh, cool. There, I'll grab the heat gun. We'll give it some heat. It sucks too, because I'm at the point now that truggy that I need to do some running tanks on that engine. I don't want to do it in the wet. Should have put fuel in this, I guess, before I started heating it up. I'm ahead of myself. This is the JQ Racing buggy with the 28R, and mostly the reason I'm doing this today is I want to find out if this OS carburetor works on an axial, because the axial carburetors are not the best. Great engine, cranky carburetor. And it's not even a bad carburetor, it's just too many adjustments. That mid-speed adjustment makes such a big difference in the axial carburetors that it makes it a bitch to find your low speed setting. I haven't run this thing for a while, so. Well, primed it first, I guess. I think it wants more fuel on the low speed. Come on. No, I might be too rich. I think it might be the other way around. This particular glow igniter is pretty close to getting smashed.
not there. Just a smidge. Glad I turned that fan on.
250. Pretty good, really.
Oh, I better pick up the dog. I think that's a success. I'm gonna call that good. What do you guys think? It needs more ramp. Just waiting for it to run out of fuel now. It's right there. No complaints there. Right at the bottom of the head, it's about 246. The very top, it's hard to tell with that concave head in it. It's shooting up around the 260, 270 range at the bottom of that top of that concave head, but it doesn't give me a decent reading. Right below it is a 250. It's like 265. Yeah, fan's running, Hugh. It's actually pretty not too bad in here. A little bit hazy, but beauty. This engine's also fairly tight because it's still pretty new. So, I mean, it's broke in, but it's always seemed to run a little bit hot. So, that will get better. And I find it does run cooler with 30% rather than 20%. It's still fairly tight, this engine. But I call that a success. I like that. I'll be curious to see what it's like in the field, but that OS carburetor seems to be pretty decent on there. I've had nitro poisoning before. That's why my wife made me put this fan in here ages ago, was because of the I used to come out here and do this and run it till it was barely friggin' see, and a couple times I made myself pretty sick. So, being a jackass. I'm sure we've all done it. Not wanting to lose the heat or whatever reason. I remember years ago breaking a motorcycle in, firing it up in the house, and I tried to use the dryer exhaust as an exhaust, and I blew the dryer exhaust off the wall, filled the house full of smoke. My wife come home, not a happy camper. And my name was Mud. Not a shining moment. Now, question is, what did I do with the body clips? There they are. I'm pretty happy with that. So anybody that, like I said, anybody that gets a chance to grab one of those old VGs, the carburetor's got to be the most universal
carburetor that I think you can buy. Yeah, the body on this thing's beautiful. I love the body. And the same thing is the chassis underneath is everything matches. Strut towers. They're pretty cool. They were a really nice buggy. Made a bit of a mess. They were a pretty great buggy for in the day. No, it's the Axial 2.8 RR with the green head, with the swirlies and everything in the middle. They're a great engine. I love the Axial engines. How I found out is I tried that carburetor on my other block that's fucked, and that's when I found out that it'll fit. So this is the carb that came off it, and it has that extra third adjustment which tends to leak lots on these Axial bodies. So that's why I wanted to try it with this one. So it seems to work pretty good. Yeah, this fan is big enough that it exchanges 100% of the air in the garage every 30 seconds. I know, sorry Hugh, I didn't respond to you when I was running there, but you said you liked that hoist? Yeah, I bought a fairly large fan. It's a little bit bigger than I need to, but I wanted to make sure that when I run stuff in here, it doesn't kill me. So that's made by a company out of Calgary. It's actually Atlas Equipment is what it is, and it's a scissor lift. It's a big scissor, and it'll lift 6,000 pounds, no problem. And I've actually lifted higher than what it's rated for. I've put my buddy's 1-ton Dodge on there, and it's picked it up without any issues. And it's nice and solid and sturdy. And the thing that I like about it is it doesn't screw into the floor, so I don't have to worry about compromising my concrete, and have to worry about rebar counts and all that other jazz that what you're doing with it. So. Tell you, it makes a world of difference when you're working on cars. It's a lot nicer than laying on the floor, which I did for a lot of years. Oh yeah, it's got there's a big center beam in the center of it that has a lock that locks as it goes. So as soon as it passes certain points, there's a dog that grabs in and it holds it there. It's solid as a rock, man. I tell you, I don't feel unsafe underneath of it. The only thing I find is if you're gonna work on the front or the back of the car, you gotta figure out where the car is positioned on the lift so that you can get at what you need to work on, just so that you don't hog tie yourself for things like if you want to do a transmission, you gotta back it on, things like that. And I will say, like, these aren't that expensive. I think I got that thing for, what did I pay? I think I paid 3,500 Canadian for it, which is not horrible. And parts are readily available if I wreck anything. The only thing I did was put extended arms on it because the some of the unibody stuff is out really far to grab on the pinch points, so you need a longer arm to reach that far. So can't tell if the job's cleared up or if my glasses are foggy. Oh, it's getting there. Yeah, they're not bad price. I recommend them, and they're portable. Like the power pack actually is a dolly for the one end and there's wheels on the other. So you take the power pack and you put it underneath the one end and you can move it around. So. Yeah, it's really nice that way. It's safe to turn that fan off now. Furnace is running too. No, that was a win. I bet you that'll be a nice solid buggy now to run with that carburetor on there. Probably fix a lot of the tuning issues. Like I said, anybody gets a chance to grab one of these JQ buggies, they're pretty cool. Oh, here, hold on a second. I forgot to turn my lights on my leg. Put this back. Anybody that was on my Thursday night live when I had that little Arma, what am I showing off, Otis? My lights? Yeah, so anybody that was on there, I fixed that little Arma up. I had that little guy out in the snow this morning. Oh, my lights, yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, so I fixed this little arm up. A fella gave it to me, and it was missing the battery, and it was missing one of the servos was junk, and the radio was missing, and things like that. So I kind of pissed around with it a bit, and I got it working, so I took it out in the snow today. Man, is this little thing good in the snow? So it's lots of fun. I had it out in the snow, and it's really good in the snow. It's not the fastest thing in the world because it's still brushed, but it's a fun little thing. I may have to do that, Hugh, for Christmas. That'd be a good idea. But yeah, this is my only electric. I picked, like I said, and I got this for free. So. One more thing I should show you guys. So, remember that USA one I got from Hybrid? I did a bunch of work on the body posts and everything, and there it is. So I managed to get the proper USA One body on it, and she's ready to rip. So hey Hugh, it'll be a fun little truck. I mostly got it for a trade, that little electric truck. So that's probably what I'll do with it. And then I kind of like this one too because it's got all the running lights and shit on it. So it's pretty cool. And then I'll turn the lights off so you can see it. There. How's that look? That looks pretty badass, eh? And it's even got tail lights. So, but I figured that looks pretty badass. So that's a fun little truck. Now,
So yeah, that's that original USA one that I got from Hybrid with the. So I managed to get the original body back on it because the body posts were all wrong. Everything was all messed up. But it has its own battery pack for these lights. They're separate. They're wired up underneath the ass end here. So these are actually Savage body posts now. So Minnie, you just missed it. We just were working on the JQ buggy. Sorry, buddy. We did a whole bunch of test and tune and some shop donuts with the JQ. Yeah, so anyway, like I said, I kind of redid the body post. It's a little dusty. Yeah, I redid the body post so that it fits this body properly and it sits square. And then this is actually an original USA 1 body that I had found years ago that I had looked forever for the USA 1 and never could find it. And then finally I got one off a Hybrid. So. What's that for this, Grandma? I figured you guys would like this thing. They're pretty rare. I wouldn't sell this. It took me a long time to find it. They're the original USA ones are just about impossible to find. Now that Minnie's there, I gotta grab that buggy again. And Minnie, so what we did with this is we worked on it. We did some carburetor work on that buggy because the original axial carburetor was leaking out that mid-speed needle. So we did some work to it. You bet, Hugh. So yeah, so we did we put an OS VG carburetor on it and took the original axial carburetor off because it's leaking through that mid-speed, which is pretty common for these axial carburetors. So we resealed the OS carburetor and put the OS VG carburetor on there. It's a great buggy. I love how it handles. Different than anything else that I have for a buggy, for sure. So, yeah, it just kind of completed it. Now it'll be a little bit more reliable than that. Yeah, that engine runs like a champ. Oh, it is, Lotus. It's probably just, like you said, it's probably just an O-ring, but it seems like I'm always resealing that mid-speed on those axial carburetors. I don't know why, but they'll sit for a while and then they leak. Hey, if you find another one, you let me know, Minnie. I'd be interested in another one. Hey, BBT. White edition. Oh yeah, because that's the black. So yeah, if you found the white, it'd be cool because then I'd have the set. Yeah, exactly, Lotus. The Hobeo carburetor is the same thing. That's part of the reason that's why I suggest that VG carburetor for the Hobeo engines as well, because it does the same thing.
Like I said, anybody that watched Joey's video this morning, that's exactly what he did. He swapped it out and put that VG carburetor on his, and it runs like a champ. You know, I should see if one of those OS carburetors will fit on an LRP. Because that's the one thing about an LRP. The freaking carburetors aren't the best. The new style ones are better than the old ones, but. Yeah, hybrid. But yeah, so like I said, these are those old VGs. And like I said, they come up dead quite a bit because these are the old ABN. No. Yeah, ABN, not ABC. And they go sideways quite a bit. So these are good for parts. If you need carburetors and stuff, you find these at swap meets and shit like that. Usually cheap. Biggest thing, Travis, is you got to make sure that the throat is the same length, and then obviously the diameter, because it has to fit in the bore. And your needles and everything, and your venturi sizes obviously are what help you with how it performs. But the biggest thing is how it sits in there. Like when it sits in the AE blocks, it does sit up a bit high. So to get it to fit in there properly, I mean, I've done it before, but you hate to do it, but you got to trim the throat off just a smidge so it sits down and seals on that O-ring. Yeah, so they're pretty great. Like I've got a few VGs that are still running, and they're like, there's a 30 VG in an old Hyper buggy that I have down there, and that thing works perfectly. It's a great run buggy. Sounds amazing. I love the 30 VG. It's an awesome engine. Awesome. So like I said, I got the other one that works pretty good too, that I've been pissing around with. So this is an axial, this is an AE 28 Pro out of an MGT. The HPI carburetor fits perfectly as well, just so you guys know, because the AE carburetor is prone to going for a crapper. So just so you know. Well, it's okay, Grandma. Don't worry about that. So yeah, this old carburetor is pretty good. You picked up another electric. Right on, Minnie. I was just showing that I got that granite, that Arma granite running. I took it out today. Yeah, I had this as my granite, and I got it out going today. I took it in the snow. Man, it was packed solid with snow by the time I brought it back in. So yeah, I mean, it's a brush version. If I keep this thing, I'll switch it over to brushless just for fun. But right now, it's good for kids if they come over or something, because it's not the world's fastest. It's okay. It's not horrible, but it's not the fastest for sure. You like those axials, Mini? Okay, it's fun to run that little Arma around the shop in here, so it doesn't gas yourself out anyway.
Furnace is running, I better close some windows. Cool. Yeah, my you won't see my Z01B out here now. It's actually in the house now. I got it in the display case in the living room, so it's kind of graduated to a different place from in here. So it's the USA one again. What, do you want to see that? Oh, I showed Hogred already. He's got pictures of it. I texted him pictures of it this morning. Yeah, and I moved my Fortec into the house as well, and the Offna Pirate. I don't want to sell it. No. It took me some sweet talking to get that from Hybrid. I don't want to sell that truck, and it took me forever to find one, because the original USA one was actually my first nitro kit that I ever owned, and I finally got one, and I don't really want to give it up. But if I do, Hugh, I'll let you know. And the USA one, I found out something interesting, Hybrid, on that USA one. That engine's kind of a weird thing, and the carburetor that's on it is all fucked up. It's part of the reason for the running. But the other is that it'll fit a Traxxas size carburetor. So I just got to figure out, so if I can find an OS 11 carb to go in it, that should, I'm hoping that would sort out the issues. How does the original compare to the? Oh man, it is nothing like the new one, which it kind of made me sad. But the new one looks absolutely nothing like the original. Are you going to get it, Travis? It's a really nice buggy, man, I tell you. Good luck with that Hybrid. I made that mistake before. I fired up my old, I had an old VT500 Honda, and I rebuilt the engine, and I fired it up for the first time in the laundry room, trying to use the dryer exhaust as the exhaust fan to the house. It blew it off and filled the house full of smoke. When my wife got home, my name was Mud. Oh yeah, I remember Charlene come home there and she's gonna kill me because the fucking house was right full of smoke. And every window open, and it was the middle of winter, trying to air the house out before I got shit. When she got home, and the house still smelled like exhaust, and it was not a good deal. I remember one time I tried to drive I had a GSX-R 750, and I was trying to put it in the furnace room for the winter, and I figured that I could drive it into the house better than I could push it, and I ended up doing this big skid mark across the kitchen floor, and I ate shit for that one for quite a while.
So needless to say, you know, when they say that you're done doing stupid shit, and here I am, still doing stupid shit. Yeah. My poor wife put up with a lot of shit for years. That's nice, you. And I don't have any grandchildren, and but I can only imagine. I don't miss having little kids. I mean, my son is 25, but I don't miss kids running around anymore. You have 10. Ooh, Jesus. I put an order in for some glow plugs because I'm out. Anybody lives in Canada, they get good prices on them at Great Hobbies. And if you buy $100 worth, you get free shipping. So any of you that are in Canada, Great Hobbies is a good place to get them. I ordered a dozen of them, so we'll see. That should do me for a little while. I don't know what you guys want to see. I don't really have anything else to work on. I did the USA one I kind of did this morning. I did the JQ carburetor. I thought that was going to take longer. Sorry. And then I don't really have anything else to fuck with. Right off the top of my head. Rip the armor. I do have a Serpent buggy, Travis. Do you want to see it? I like that thing. It's I got a really nice mill in it. Here, I'll grab it. That's my Serpent. So it has the Alpha Plus 28 in it. This thing is a beast. This SRX 8, they're actually a pretty good deal. I bought this one off of AMA. Yeah, I would Jay, I would love to get a pinch tool. I priced them out. They're not outrageous. I'm actually thinking of buying one myself, just because there's not many places in Canada to repinch stuff. But so this engine is, these are actually great deals on eBay. This engine is not that expensive, but it is a great engine and it's got great quality and it's good running and it is solid as a rock. The tune is perfect. Lots of pinch though, so if you fire it up, you got preheat shit out of it. But so the original engine that's for this, not a horrible engine. Lots of guys kind of say it's underpowered. That's the original engine for it. It comes pull start. It's now bump start, obviously. I think it's a force-based engine. It great running engine. I have no complaints with it. It was good. It was just a little bit. It can't hold a candle to that engine. But I keep it in case I want to put it back stock. So that if I had to pick between this and the Kyosho RTR, I think I would probably pick this. I like the engine mount setup better. The shocks are better. It just handles a little bit better. I think it's a little bit longer.
The wing is a little higher. You know, like, I know some people, it's kind of a toss up. They're both great. This one, the radio is not as nice. It comes with the Kyosho RTR. I can put them side by side if you want. Here, let's pull some body. I will say, stock to stock, the Kyosho, the Serpent engine is better than the Kyosho engine. So if I had to compare engines stock to stock, the Serpent engine has more poop than this KE21 does. And you can get parts for the Serpent easier than you get parts for this Kyosho. I will say that. And which surprised the shit out of me, but AMA pretty much keeps all the parts for that Serpent. So let's do a little bit of, here, I'll take this off the stand. We'll do a little bit of side by side. How's that? So if you can see, there's your big differences. So the Kyosho obviously has a much more staggered servo box than the Serpent does. The Serpent has a bigger fuel tank than the Kyosho. I did upgrade the pipe on the to the Dynamite. This is the Dynamite pipe, same as that other one that I just used. The original pipe that comes on this thing sucks. It sucks the power out of this thing. It is not a great pipe from stock. That's the best upgrade you can do to this thing if you buy it. The Serpent buggy, this is the original pipe. Great pipe. And it works perfect. The Serpent one, there's just little touches that they did that I like better, like the longer battery box. The only other thing that I thought was really stupid, they didn't put, this is a giant hole from stock. And so I took an old pull start and it fit right over top of it, and I screwed it down in there and siliconed the hole closed, because otherwise it's wide open to the battery and wide open to the receiver, and it just fills full of shit, which is stupid. But these are hinged battery boxes, which are very nice. So the Kyosho does have some good quality to it, but if I had to pick between the two, the Serpent does handle better. And you can see how it's a little bit wider than the Kyosho. But the Kyosho does have little things like the shit deflectors for the rear end. And you know, like the Serpent has, everything's written Serpent. Even the drive shafts say Serpent, which is super cool. And little touches like that. They spend a little bit of extra time doing some stuff, right? So shocks are both the same bores. You know, both have sway bars, same. The Kyosho control arms, I will say, are much more spindly than the Serpent ones. The Serpent ones are way beefier, and the turnbuckles are bigger, and things like that. So I'll tell you, this Serpent has taken a dirty beating, and it's held up pretty good. Obviously, the owner did not clean it very good before he put it away, which would be me. But the Kyosho one is quite nice. And the servos that it comes with are pretty decent. I will say that. But that answers your questions. They're both hex style drive shafts, no CVDs. You know, they're very comparable. The underside of the chassis seems to wear not too bad. This one's got a little bit more gravel rash on it because it's probably got a little bit more time on it than the Kyosho. These tires that the Kyosho comes with are amazing, absolutely amazing in the snow. So, and I think the Serpent's a better price, if I remember right.
Yeah, and you said, like I said, the engine mounts on the Serpent are one piece engine mount, and this one has like a two piece engine mount, which is kind of a bit of a bitch, because you got the old school like tin plates, and then the mount goes on top of the tin plate, and it's a bit of a fuck around. This one's got the one piece blocks, and they're threaded, which are nice. So if you want to put a bump start engine in it though, you got to plane the blocks down a smidge to drop the engine down. So that is the only thing I will say. I had to plane these blocks off to put this engine in. So if I ever go to put it back, I'll have to either shim these up so I can put the put the pull start back in it, or buy another set of mounts. I should buy another set of mounts before they stop making them, just so I have them. They're not ridiculous money. Oop, come on, there. A-Main still has them. I looked on their website, so they're still available. The Mayhems are gonna be getting tough to find parts for, I would think. You. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. This is the engine light that I got from you, John, or that you got from me, or I can't, whatever way you want to say that. I'm part of that trade. What is that number about now? Move that air filter into the way. There we go. I like the trucks too, Hugh, but I do, in the summertime, man, I can't get away from the buggies. The fall and the winter, I run the trucks lots, but I don't run them that much in the summer. I'm more of a buggy guy come spring. They fly the best. You know, I like the RTR stuff, don't get me wrong, but a kit is definitely awesome. I haven't showed this one for a while. This one I built for my birthday. I don't think Nitro's dying. I think RTR is dying. That's my opinion. I think RTR is going away. Because people that buy pro kits or kits in general generally have two clues rolling around their noggin on what they're doing. But RTRs, like, man, most people are so friggin' stupid nowadays. They buy stuff and they figure that it should come right away. And then and it should be ready to go, and they don't have the patience, and they don't break it in properly, and then it gets fucked up, and then they take it back to the store and go, my stuff's broken. Well, the store doesn't want to deal with that, and I understand it. I can see where it's going. So I think that what I wish is that more manufacturers would make more kits, like make the Savage as a kit, make the MGT as a kit, make the Monster Trucks as a kit, you know. I think you're right, Jay. I think Nitro's going to take off again, but it's just going to come in a different format. Exactly. Kits are tougher because they're built with care. They're put together properly. They got fucking, you put Loctite where it needs to go. The screws don't fall out. The parts are better because they don't have to spend the labor to put the thing together. And, you know, it's not built
in Ching Lang land where it's just some fucking guy that should have they got paid $8 for the entire day, you know? So I painted that body, turned out really good. So this one, I built this one for my 50th birthday. So it doesn't have much runtime on it. Basically, it's broke in, and that's about it. Before the weather went for a shit in the fall, but it's it is, as you can see, it's pretty nice. So this is the B4. I put the Reds 521 in it. It has the Reds clutch belt and Reds adjustable clutch with the Reds pipe. It has the high torque servos, the low voltage cutoff, LiPo on-off switch, LiPo battery, and the same receivers and everything that I run. These have factory CVDs in them. I don't know if you can see it or not. There. So, and then it's a pillow ball car, as you can see. So it has, basically, like I said, it has all the good stuff. These are good deals on as a kit. They're a great kit, and they come nicely. And then I kind of upgraded it with all the goodies when I built it. So I recommend these B4s are pretty good, and they're coming out with the B4.4. So these are actually not too bad a price. So I think these are. I got this one on sale at A-Main, I think, for like $398 for the kit, and then the engine and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a great buggy. I can't wait till the spring so I can run it some more. But the rolling resistance in this thing is next to nothing. It's the Associated buggies are very well built. They're very well built buggy. Yeah, it was a good deal at A-Main when I bought it. It was like I said, I think it was like $398 US or $368 US on sale. So, and it was a fun kit to build. The instructions on an Associated buggy are definitely next to the best. Like, they don't assume that you know shit. Like, they do everything. Oh, so they do, it's $6.99 now? Yeah. Is it the B4 or the 4.1 now? You know what, Floyd, I don't know. It is and it isn't. I have a Mugen as well, and the Mugen is a little tankier in a lot of ways than the B4. I find the Mugen's a little less. I don't want to say fragile, but it's just different. It's yeah. Oh, it is the B4 one. Okay. I have a B4 one here. It's actually my buddy's, but it was the original prototype, actually, and we're waiting to put an engine in it yet. It's actually up on the shelf, and it came from a pro racer, so it's upgraded and everything else, and it's pretty nice. But just the regular B4 is $719. Holy fuck, that's expensive. Well, the Associated stuff generally, as a rule, is pricey compared to everything else. That's why when it was on sale, I couldn't get it. I couldn't wait to get it. Then when you compare those ones with the Techno, which is built like a tank, like the Techno is built like a fucking tank, and it's like the leaves that are in this thing. Oops. Yeah, I guess I'll put this away. So the
Techno's built like a tank. Like you look at the control arms in this thing. They're solid pieces of stuff. Like that's why everybody that says that they race say that these things are built like a tank. Look at that. Like there's no, I don't know how the fuck you even break that. Like they're just built like a tank. Like, and they're so well sealed, the body to the chassis, they hardly any dirt gets in them when you run them, other than through the window. Yeah, like this one I got from John, from the Addiction, and this thing is a beast, like just a beast, and it takes a dirty beating. I've jumped this thing same as John has, and it flies like the wind, man. I mean, I gotta do a little bit. It's got a little bit of stuff. But yeah, like this thing is a beast. Like it's a great buggy. Like as a platform, it's got the same thing. It's got the split servo tray. The one thing I like with the Mugen, or with the Techno, over everything else is so you know how on most buggies the brake linkages go in the top and then they swing like this. Well, on the Techno, they come in from the side and then they swing like this. So they're on the side here, which is different for sure. And then the radio tray setup is quite a bit different than the other ones. So like you look and see, it's got big beefy arms and everything is kind of sealed up nicely. They're like I said, they're a great buggy. Oh, later, John. Have a great supper. Yeah, they're and like John said, parts are still available. They're a little tougher on the 2.0 or the 2.2, but yeah, they're you can see I run all mine. Some of them I should clean a little better. So I know that somebody had mentioned what the best. It was on one of the groups. I can't remember what group it was. They mentioned which Hobeo was the best one to buy, and I'm still a big advocate for the Hyper 7 or Hyper 8. Anybody that gets a chance to pick up an 8, they are great buggies. I cannot praise them enough. They are next to a Techno in tough.